This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. And today we have another story. Today we have a story about three Wilmington, North Carolina police officers who were fired. I'm going to show the video and I'll come back with some commentary. Stand by.
Wilmington, North Carolina's police chief has fired three veteran officers for what he calls hate-filled speech caught on a patrol car camera. Internal investigation accused officers Kevin Piner and Brian Gilmore and Corporal Jesse Moore of violating standards of conduct and using inappropriate slurs, including the N-word. Investigators say that Piner described killing black people in a new civil war, saying, quote, wipe them off the bleep map. David Bagnell spoke to the chief about this, and David, he's taking this beyond his department. He's sending quite a message.
He sure is, Gail. Good morning. Donnie Williams is the first black police chief for the Wilmington, North Carolina Police Department. And this week was his first day on the job. And do you know what the first thing was that he did on his first day? He fired these officers.
Chief, one of the officers wanted to resign, but you said, no, I'm going to fire you. Why?
Yeah, because people are tired of officers being involved in misconduct and walking away quietly. I wanted to fire them to make sure that their chances of being rehired again were minimized. These individuals do not deserve to be in law enforcement.
Documents released by the Wilmington Police Department state that the conversations were discovered during a routine video audit of Officer Piner's patrol car. He is heard telling Corporal Moore that he is, quote, ready for a civil war and plan to buy an assault rifle to, quote, start slaughtering them N-words. During a phone call, Moore refers to a woman who he claims was resisting arrest as the N-word multiple times, and he says she needed a bullet in her head right then. Did these officers try to fight you on releasing their files?
They did.
Do you have any indication that anyone at any point tried to put this to the side so it wouldn't embarrass your agency?
No, they brought it to my attention immediately once they found it.
According to the investigators, each officer admitted it was their voice on the video, but blamed their comments on the stress of the job, arising from the stress of today's climate in law enforcement. CBS News reached out to the police union and the three officers for comment, but never heard back. It's one thing to fire the officers, but you want more than that. You want to foreseeably prevent them from working in law enforcement again in the state of North Carolina, correct?
That is correct. Normally when officers are involved in misconduct, they'll resign and they'll slip away quietly. And in some cases, they'll be able to maintain their certification and get a job with another agency. In this case, these individuals do not deserve to be in law enforcement.
Chief Williams even asked the district attorney to review cases that the three fired officers have been involved in to look for biases. The DA told CBS News 89 cases are under review, and some have already been thrown out. Do you think you need more people who are black to be on your force?
I would say yes, we also need more females to be on our force, but the color of a person's skin is not going to determine the color of their heart. You have white officers that are good officers, you have white officers that are bad officers, you have black officers that are good officers, and you also have black officers that are bad officers. So the color of their heart is more important to me than the color of their skin.
Boy, how much do we love Chief Williams? That's such a good point. May we all take that message from him. But I got to tell you, David, listening to those words was so hard to hear, even though they were bleeped out, that is a police officer on the force who is supposedly to protect and serve all of us. That's very tough to hear and painful and painful.
Thankfully, it doesn't represent all officers, Gail, and wouldn't it be great to have a Chief Williams in every department around the country?
Yes, yes, yes. We could take notes from how Chief Williams operates. Thank you very much, David.
Okay, Black family, so you've heard the video. You've seen the actions that have been taking place by the chief of Wilmington, North Carolina Police, the three officers, Piner, Gilmore, and Moore. I mean, it's nothing surprising because this is what's going on in America. In fact, majority of the police officers, the white police officers in America, are just like this. Okay, so take a look at these guys' face. Yeah, they look like regular guys, right? Don't they? They look like regular people that patrol the street, that get in your face and smile and say all type, hey, how you doing? All that good shit, right? But then they're talking about Civil War, and they need to get assault white rifles to, wipe these fucking niggers off the map. And then when it was time to pay for it, they said because of the stress of the job, man. Imagine that. Once again, like I say, but they're so pressed to work around black people. I don't understand. Majority of America is white. They could be a police officer in white neighborhoods, but they choose to be police officers in black neighborhoods. And then they say things like this: wipe these fucking niggas off the map, and the lady should have had a bullet in her head. You see how callous and how coarse their thought patterns are. And like I said in my previous videos, it is terrorizing to black people because they are around us and we don't know who's who. Okay, you have all manner of different type of white supremacists that are working in jobs around you in your neighborhood. Okay, where they are the authority, they are the police, and this is how they think. Okay, look, there are some exceptions. There are some police officers who are doing their jobs and like to do real policing. But it's hard to point them out when you constantly have these type of police officers, okay, who are basically in the streets. They are a form of authority. They have lights to pull you over. They have a gun on their hip, um, and this is how they think. And this is why I say black police should police black neighborhoods, and white police should police white neighborhoods. And some people would say it's separatism or it's racism or whatever it is, but it just makes sense. Okay, and I know all black officers are not good. All black officers are some of them are criminals too, just like these guys. But I'd rather see that than see these guys patrol our streets. At least some black officers may have some compassion. And if they shoot you, they'll shoot you because they hate you, but not because you're black. Okay? I'm not saying that that's proper policing in any way. But when another group hunts a particular group, that's war. He didn't say these fucking people out here, they're getting on our nerves, and he's not talking about the all of North Carolina. He says niggers. He wants to start a civil war, get assault rifles so he can wipe them off the map. Young people, you got to wake up, young people, and you have to understand that it's not about you doing what you want to do. It's about you being careful, because these are the type of people that's going to hover over you. As a matter of fact, they're looking at their cases. 89 cases they're looking at. Okay, so we're going to look forward to see how that comes out. Every day I'm going to post these things. Kevin Piner, James Brian Gilmore, Corporal Jesse Moore. You need to take their names down. Okay, and when you see these guys, stay away. Unless it's time to get down or you're defending yourself. So fam, be careful out there, please. We're talking about, shootings in Chicago, shootings suddenly in these black neighborhoods. Like, we're having all these, shootings that are just miraculously going on as soon as the police want to quit. In fact, the police don't catch anybody, so it's the same thing over and over. Like, basically, they're not there to prevent a shooting. They come after the shooting. Okay, so nothing has changed. But I do find it suspicious that all these shootings on the weekend, I mean, it just flares up like this. Where is the proper police work to be done? Like anything else, before you go to war, there's a strategy, there's a battle plan. Where is the strategy for the weekends? How are they preventing shootings? They respond to calls, but how are they preventing shootings? So I'm gonna leave it at that. I want you guys to like and share because our people need to know about this. This information needs to be out, and they need to know and see the faces of these police officers who choose to make these horrible decisions, and especially around us. So some of these videos may seem simple, but they're very important because every little simple thing needs to be seen. I'm out. Thank you for your time. Like and share. Also subscribe. This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News.